Hello everyone, this is Mr. 60 Anime, and today we're finally going to talk about part 13 of Dragon Ball Hakai, the colored panel edition. But before we begin, could you please give this video a like so you'll always stay updated whenever we post content like this? Thank you so much, guys. Now, before diving into part 13, let's first do a quick recap of what happened in the previous episode of Dragon Ball Hakai. The last part ended in a scene where Picon was planning to take Janemba away from Frieza. Meanwhile, Goku traveled to Lea's planet to ask for her help in searching for the primordial beast, and that's where our new chapter begins. The first panel opens with Beerus, Picon, and Vegeta still in the middle of a serious conversation. Beerus speaks first, commenting that Picon seems to be interfering too much. He reminds Picon, "Didn't you say earlier that someone would come to retrieve the pad? And that you should act freely? But if someone else is already assigned to take it, then why are you still tagging along with me? I thought I was supposed to be one of those searching for the primordial beast, just like Goku." Vegeta, silently thinking to himself, realizes that Goku must already be aware of the current situation, and likely all the gods of destruction know about it too. Then, Picon explains his side. He says they deliberately chose not to place any primordial beast within Universe 7. According to him, as he mentioned earlier, this planet would be the first target of the Celestial Mages, who have other secret motives. To minimize problems, they decided to keep the beasts away from here. Unfortunately, he adds, the god of destruction of Universe 7 is careless and refuses to take responsibility for his duties. That's why retrieving Janemba and Majin Buu has now become a matter of universal security. Beerus just smirks and replies sarcastically, "You know, Picon, I actually liked you better before I found out who you really were." After saying that, Beerus suddenly hands Vegeta a pair of earrings. Vegeta looks at them in confusion and asks, "What are these for?" Beerus explains, "Those earrings are a symbol that you've now gained the ability to use destruction power. From this point on, you'll represent me." Picon, surprised, immediately questions him. "Why are you doing this? What are you planning?" Beerus answers calmly, "Vegeta will go with you, Picon. He'll assist you with your mission." Still unconvinced, Picon argues again, "What do you mean by that? You're entrusting such an important task to a mortal? What kind of negligence is this?" But Beerus just shrugs and says, "Didn't you just call me negligent earlier? So why are you so surprised now? Besides, times have changed. It's my universe, and I'm the god of destruction here, so I'll do whatever I want. And right now, what I want is to get some sleep." Picon sighs and says, in disappointment, "You really are pathetic." Before heading off, Beerus turns to Vegeta and says, "I'm leaving this to you, Vegeta." At that moment, Vegeta puts on the earrings that Beerus gave him. Then he asks, "You mentioned Frieza is involved in this, right? What's your plan for tracking him down?" Picon admits honestly, "To be honest, I have no idea how to locate Frieza right now. The last time I saw him was on Zuno's planet. But since you're already familiar with Frieza, maybe you can sense his ki." Vegeta replies, "I'm sure Frieza is far, far away at this point. I could reach him using instant teleportation, but I can't sense his energy from this great distance." Picon nods and says, "Don't worry, I can help you with that. For now, focus your energy and try to sense Frieza's Kai. I'll assist you in finding him." At this moment, Vegeta immediately began to focus his energy, trying to sense Frieza's location. But just as he started concentrating, Picon suddenly placed his hand on Vegeta's shoulder. Vegeta looked surprised and asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" Picon calmly replied, "Relax, Vegeta. I'm using my ability to sharpen your sensing skills. With my help, you'll be able to detect Frieza's ki even from a much greater distance." Hearing that, Vegeta closed his eyes again and focused deeply, letting his energy flow. Within just a few seconds, he successfully sensed Frieza's Kai. Without wasting another moment, he immediately used instant teleportation, and the two of them were instantly transported to a distant planet called Planet Quinn. As they arrived, Vegeta looked around in confusion and said, "What is this place? Frieza isn't here. From what I know, he should be inside his spaceship right now." Picon responded, "A fierce battle could easily destroy that spaceship, which would put the Janemba pad in danger. That's why I chose to come to this planet instead. This is where Frieza was heading anyway, and it's the perfect place for a confrontation." Vegeta frowned and said in a slightly irritated tone, "So you interfered with my sensing ability and purposely brought us here instead? I don't like what you did." But Picon calmly explained, "Don't be angry, Vegeta. If Janemba were to awaken in the middle of a chaotic situation, you'd understand why I made this decision." Vegeta crossed his arms and replied, "I don't care about that. Since Frieza hasn't arrived yet, can you tell me what's really going on? This looks like a serious situation." Picon nodded and said, "You're right. This universe will soon become a battleground for enemies, and when that happens, you too will be affected. Let me explain everything to you." The scene then shifts to Universe 8, where we see Liquir, the god of destruction of that universe. He has just successfully captured one of the primordial beasts. Liquir smirked and said, "Those guardians were tough to convince. It took a lot of persuasion to make them entrust this beast to me." As he finally returned to his planet, a mysterious voice suddenly spoke out saying, "You sure took your time retrieving that thing, god of destruction." Liquir's eyes narrowed, and he replied, "There's no need to hide. Show yourself." Within seconds, a figure appeared before him. It was none other than Tyra. Liquir observed her carefully and thought to himself, "She doesn't seem to be emitting any ki at all, but I can still feel an overwhelming sense of danger from her presence." Tyra smiled slightly and said, "Liquir, you're known as one of the most intelligent and hardworking gods of destruction of your generation. But even so, I'm sure you already know who I am, the goddess Queen of War from the Zaret Kingdom." Liquir's expression darkened. "So, you're Tyra, the Grand Warrior Mage? You're one of the Celestial Mages, aren't you?" Tyra nodded. "That's right." Liquir clenched his fists and said, "You've got a lot of nerve showing up in my universe, especially here, on my planet." Tyra replied calmly, "I didn't come here to offend you. Just hand over that beast and I'll leave quietly." But Liquir shook his head. "That's not going to happen." And at that very moment, Liquir's aura flared up as he prepared to face Tyra head-on, signaling the beginning of another intense battle. Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to planet Earth, where we see Oob desperately running for his life, being chased by a massive, terrifying monster. The creature roared loudly, shaking the ground as it pursued him. Just when it seemed like Oob had nowhere else to run, a powerful figure suddenly appeared and struck the monster head-on, sending it flying backward. That man was none other than Master Chappa. Chappa quickly turned to Oob and shouted, "Hurry, kid! You need to get out of here. That creature is too dangerous for you. It's that cursed barrel water. It's making you weaker. Next time, don't risk your life for something unnecessary. Your life is far more important than that water." But Ub, breathing heavily, replied, "I just wanted to help the people who are thirsty. I thought if I could bring back that water, they could drink." Chappa sighed and said, "I understand, Ub. You've got a kind heart. That strength of yours, it could bring prosperity to everyone, but you have to stay alive first." Before Chappa could finish, the monster suddenly charged at them again, catching both him and Oob off guard as it roared and lunged toward them. Chappa's eyes widened. "Wait a second, that thing's a mother!" he shouted. The creature launched a devastating attack directly toward Oob. In panic and fear, Oob instinctively raised his hands, and before he even realized it, he released a massive energy wave, far stronger than anything he'd ever done before. The blast shot out in an instant, striking the monster head-on and sending it crashing violently to the ground. Oob stared in shock, completely stunned by what he had just done. Did I do that?" he whispered to himself. Master Chappa, still recovering from the shock, looked at Oob and thought, "So it's true. This boy is special." He could feel it. There was something extraordinary about Oob. Despite being so powerful, the kid remained pure-hearted, innocent, and kind. But before they could even process what had happened, a mysterious voice suddenly echoed nearby. "Well, kid," the voice said coldly, "it would be such a shame if you were to die right here." Chappa immediately tensed up and shouted, "Who's there? Show yourself. You don't sound like someone to be trusted." Out of the shadows, a mysterious being emerged, its presence so sinister that even the air around them seemed to grow heavy. The being spoke again in an arrogant tone. "Leave, old man. I don't have time to waste fighting garbage like you." Chappa's expression turned serious. "Garbage, huh? Let's see if you can repeat that once I'm done with you," he growled. And without hesitation, he charged straight toward the mysterious being. But before he could even get close, the being simply raised a hand and said, "Don't come any closer. If I increase my power even slightly, you'll die instantly." And just as those words left its mouth, Chappa was suddenly thrown back, sent flying by an invisible force. He hit the ground hard, unable to understand what just happened. "Master Chappa!" Oob cried out, running to his side to check if he was okay. But before he could reach him, the mysterious being suddenly appeared right in front of Oob and grabbed his arm tightly. "Come with me," it said coldly. "You're coming with me, kid." Just then, in a burst of divine energy, Beerus suddenly appeared, blocking the being's path. His aura radiated with power as the ground trembled beneath them. The mysterious being looked at him, a faint smirk forming on its face. "Impressive," it said. "You managed to approach me without me even noticing. You must have hidden your key very well." Beerus crossed his arms and replied in a calm but intimidating tone, "That's right, I am Beerus, the god of destruction of this universe. And don't worry, you don't need to be nervous." He then narrowed his eyes and said coldly, "Because what you want to happen is only just beginning."